I have just created ways to step into my power, turn it into a process, and then I'll share it, because if I can overcome it, so can you. So for me, without a doubt, that is the number one thing that I've learned through this 75 hard, because that is a domino effect for anything. Because anytime this negativity comes into my life, I'm like, wait a second, do I feel that way when I'm listening to my champion voice? No. Cool. Throw that in the trash. Let's go. So, I'm getting excited. A little Ric Flair right there. All right. So I'll give you an idea of what my daily routine looked like when I was on 75 hard this time. So as I've mentioned, I was up by 5 a.m. every day for 2.5 straight months. What I would do, I would zombie my way to the kitchen and immediately fill up my water bottle. And while I'm filling up my water bottle, I would speak a declaration. I am that I believe. I believe in myself. I believe in the end of my story. I believe I can make anything happen. And I saw my water bottle as filling up a cup of belief. And it's a very simple trigger. This is self-creation 101. This is something that I coach on. And it is the biggest blessing in the world. For most people, it's just filling up a water bottle. For me, it's filling up my cup of belief. So I filled up my cup of belief 4 times a day times 75 days. So 300 times in 2.5 months, I spoke to myself, I am that I believe. Super simple life hack. This is one of the things that I talk about in the 4 levels of my coaching. So fill up my water bottle, immediately drink a little bit of it. I don't know, just 1/8 of it. Why? Because when you drink water in the morning, it hydrates you and that gives you more energy. Then I would read a book for 30 minutes, meditate for 10 minutes, and then immediately go to the gym, which would take about 1 hour round trip. By 7 a.m., which is around the time I got home, the baby is up. So now I'm with the family for the next 2 hours until our babysitter arrives for watching our son while we are working. In between there, I am getting ready or attempting to. I'm attempting to eat. I'm attempting to shower. And another good thing, I'm very consistent about everything that I do. So anytime it was time for me to shower, that was time for me to take my progress picture. So boom, workout, water, progress picture, shower. By lunch, I've finished at least half of my water. So half a gallon of my gallon is done. And then I would work until 4 p.m. From 4 to 5 p.m., I would do my outdoor workout. And once I was done with that, from 5 to 7:45 p.m., it was baby time. So being with the baby, feeding the baby, bathing the baby, putting the baby down, and then somehow finding a way for us to eat dinner. So traditionally, it's about 8 o'clock right now before all of that is done. And I finally get an hour to myself to where you're like, all right, I've been up for the last 15 hours doing things nonstop. Cool. I've got an hour to myself to watch the NBA playoffs or do parts of my evening routine. So of course, 8 o'clock gets there and I'm doing my gratitude. I'm doing my G-code score. I'm doing my 75 hard app, all of that different stuff. And traditionally, I was in bed by 9:30 p.m., rinse and repeat for 2.5 months straight. The weekends for me were by far the hardest. Why? Because there's less structure. My wife doesn't work on the weekends. So all of a sudden, it's completely different. We don't have the babysitter. So now it's actually, as a parent, I find the weekends are more challenging than during the week. There's more structure when I'm working than on the weekends. It's loosey-goosey. You can do anything. There's more events. There's more traveling. So I gave myself the gift of usually about 22 minutes of extra sleep. So I would set my alarm for 5:21 a.m. Every day on the weekends. And same thing, read for 30 minutes, meditate for 10. The main difference is I would do a workout in the garage. So I've got some Bowflex adjustable dumbbells there. I've got a mat, I've got a bench, and I use the Peloton app. And I would traditionally get in a 45-minute indoor workout right then. Because I didn't have to travel to and from the gym, that would save me, 12 minutes or so as a whole. That way I could be done before the baby gets up at 7. Looking at the workouts, I lifted in the morning 6 days a week. 1 day a week, I did yoga or stretching. One of my big goals this year is the ability to touch my toes. Flexibility is not my strong suit, so I was layering in 15 minutes of stretching and or 15 minutes of core and abs because I wanted to look good for that progress picture there. For the outdoor workout, I was doing run walks, which for anyone who is a runner or not a runner, the run walk method changed my life, where it's like, hey, run for 1 mile, walk for 30 minutes, run a mile, walk for 30 seconds or a minute, rinse or repeat, or walk for 5 minutes, run to that tree, whatever it is. And then I love to play basketball, so I was also doing that. One of the big victories for me was reconnecting, going back to the gym. Back in January, for the first time in my life, I got a back injury, and it really screwed things up. And it's one of the things that started this slippery slope for me. And for the first time in my life in 15 years, I didn't go to the gym for 3 weeks. It messed up my mind more than it did my body because I'm not used to that sort of thing. And around day 35 or so, I reactivated my gym membership. So I went from working out in my garage to working out at the gym because I wanted to get all swole and look good, and I just didn't have the equipment at my home. So that was a major victory for me. Also along the same lines, when I was doing my workouts at the gym, I started to listen to podcasts or old coaching videos from, I'm a part of the Arte Syndicate led by Andy Frisella and Ed Milet. I would listen to 45 minutes of past coaching calls over the last 3 years, and boom, I'm getting this drip of wisdom from two of the best leaders and business owners in the world. This was next level for me, has me radiating. One key to share with everybody or share with you is I would lay my clothes out the night before for my workouts, and I would put them in the living room because remember, it's like 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm not about to wake my wife up. And this was a key to success for me the first time I did the program, because what this does is you're committing to working out before the day is even done. Boom, I don't have to think about it, read, meditate, take whatever I'm wearing from bed off, throw on my workout clothes, boom, right into the garage, go to the gym. The best workout, I have 2 of them. Number 1, this is midway through, let's call it day 37 or something. I don't remember for sure. I documented my entire journey on Instagram and Facebook. You can connect with me at Rob Cressy there. But I was doing a run walk with my wife on the weekend, and all of a sudden in Florida, it can go from sunshine to thunderstorm like in an instant. And we're walking with the baby, and all of a sudden, boom, out of nowhere, massive thunderstorm happens. And my wife runs to the car, but I still have 20 minutes left on my workout. And I'm like, all right, babe, cool. I'll be back in 20 minutes. She's like, all right. She obviously knows I'm this dialed in on this. And for me, it was a gift. One of the things you learn with 75 Hard is the conditions are never perfect. So when the rest of the world is like, oh my God, it's raining, I'm like, oh my God, it's raining. Sign me up for this. Because it's like injecting mental toughness into my body. The worse the conditions, the more I want to be out in it. And for me, it was literally like euphoric. It is torrential downpour. Like for anyone who's watched the movie Caddyshack, when the guy's still golfing because he's having his best round, it was like that. And I'm watching people all under the pavilions, and here I am just running laps around Waterside, which is in Sarasota down near where I live. Loving it. For me, get into the car, sopping wet. I take my clothes off down to my boxers and literally just get into the car, and my wife just looks at me with this little smirk. She, of course, knows what I'm doing. And for me, it's one of my happiest moments of this program. And then number 2, my best workout, the very last workout of the entire time. I share a story about how I did a 5.1 mile run on my last workout because I'm finishing strong. It's 90 plus degrees outside. And around the 2.25 mile mark, I have the idea. I'm like, maybe I'll just run 5 miles because that's how I want to finish strong. But I get to the front of my neighborhood and I look at my watch and it's 4.15 miles. And even though this is the final minutes of the entire 75 hard program, and at no point had I hit 4.15 miles in my outdoor workout yet, which would have been a record for me, my inner voice is like, you know what, Rob? You should just head in. You've done this so far. 4.15, that's going to be a record for you. Boom, you're good. And then my champion voice is like, are you serious? You're telling me you had the idea of running 5 miles, and now that you get to the front of your neighborhood and the mileage doesn't line up, you're going to cut a corner in the last workout in the final minutes of your 75 hard? No way that's happening. So, of course, we both know what happens. I kept running and got to 4.6 miles, turned back around, went back into my neighborhood, ended up at 5.10 miles. And it makes me laugh because your self-limiting voice is always there. So what you learn in this program is how to overcome your self-talk that does not serve you. Think about this. I've done 75 hard twice. I was in literally the final minutes of the entire program for the workout. I'm radiating. It is one of the best days of my life, a day I'll remember forever. And just when I'm about to cross the finish line, my self-talk goes, take it easy, Rob. You're good. Don't push yourself. You actually already pushed yourself. That's good enough. Air quotes, good enough. Please throw good enough in the trash because you and I, we don't believe in good enough. We believe in championship effort. And that's exactly what I did. For me, best workout. It's a story I'm going to remember for the rest of my life because it was so real, so easy for me. I could just walked into my house and been like, cool, just set a record. Except I'd have lived the rest of my life knowing I had the idea I wanted to run 5 miles. So it's exactly what I did.